What is populism? No, I'm just kidding. We all definitely read the book. And then, some of us went above and beyond by trying to impress President Eisgruber with our half-baked observations. We've come such a long way since then. Well, some of us. No, all of us. People always say, stay true to yourself. But I disagree. Most of the people who say that are just terrible. But seriously, you're supposed to change and evolve. You change by learning, and you learn by changing. All of this involves making mistakes. I have had the remarkable privilege of being able to make mistakes. So many mistakes. Not like murder or anything, but like waffling on my concentration. I had a whole heap of a heck of a time deciding between public and international affairs, East Asian studies, and psychology. I eventually chose to major in psychology with a certificate in East Asian studies, but I never forsook my commitment to public service. I also never forsook my penchant for mistakes. I switched topics between my junior independent work and my senior thesis, which you are not supposed to do. My JP was about cultural adaptations to cognitive behavioral therapy for Chinese American patients with anxiety and depression. I could never come up with a snappier title. But events of the summer of 2020 convinced me to switch gears for my senior thesis, so I decided to research and formulate the scale to measure anti-Semitic stereotypes and to predict anti-Semitic behavior. Not content to drop my other work, however, I extended my JP for my East Asian Studies certificate and eventually turned it into another thesis. But wait, there's more. Alongside one of my professors, I also co-authored a textbook chapter about the bidirectional relationships between psychological distress and economic outcomes in several African countries. But this was insane. Who does all this? Why? Who hurt them? I'm not trying to toot my own horn here. Okay, well, maybe I am just a little. But my point is that I was extremely fortunate to be able to be so academically greedy and to be able to make so many mistakes along the way. This may surprise you, but I have enjoyed a lot of privilege. It is this privilege that has significantly contributed to receiving the indescribable honor of the Pyne Prize. To me, privilege is a responsibility, or a call, to take on every single challenge in your path, to put every ounce of energy and effort into giving back and making the world a better place. I don't just mean in academics. I wouldn't be who I am today without the bonds I forged with all my amazing friends in Pure, the Princeton University Rock Ensemble, Club Fencing, Arch and Arrow, Coffee Club, Princeton Tonight, Theater On Team, and the Center for Jewish Life. I also want to take a moment to thank, in rough order of appearance in my life, my family, Professor Shields, Adam Hazelton, Professor Cooper, Emily Sharp, Simon Park, Max Manicone, Jess Lawler, Theo Trevisan, Club Ballroom, Professor Mian, Madison Schwab, Jean Roy, Dean Lyondike, Rabbi Julie and Rabbi Ira, Dr. Spokus, the entirety of the Chinese language department, Professor Truex, both Professors Lou Williams, Professor Shelton, everyone in the Cincy program, Johannes Haushofer, my incredible classmates in Psi 300, Z, Professor Graziano, Adrian Cupid, Dr. Wagner, Dr. Gump, Professor Niv, and, of course, Professor Fisk. Because of all of you, Princeton was the best 2.5 years of my life. And the rest was, These friendships gave me the strength to make mistakes, learn, and grow as a person. And the purpose of that growth is to become someone who can give back as much as they possibly can. But one should never take oneself too seriously. Humility is essential. Balancing humility with my desire to help will result in many mistakes, through which I hope to learn and grow into a better student, a better ally, and a better person. And, of course, a better virtue signaler. This is what I have learned at Princeton, and what I will take with me beyond Fitz-Randolph Gate and the Orange Bubble. Where will I take all of my sanctimoniousness once I leave Princeton? Well, I was thinking of sailing off with Gandalf and the elves to the uncharted lands west of Middle-earth. No, I'm kidding. I am no hobbit. I will instead journey to Taipei Medical University's Graduate Institute of Mind, Brain, and Consciousness, where I will study for a master's degree. Something to fall back on if my stand-up comedy career falls flat. Regardless of the path I choose to walk, with every step, I will have my foot in my mouth. I hope I have inspired you, or at least entertained you a little. Princeton loves listening to its students. Well, unless they're protesting. But anyway, this is not the end. I can't wait for us to continue to work together to try, humbly, to give what we can back to the world. Thank you.